Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the RealNex webinar series. Today we are talking about what's new and open for FAQ with all of you. Thanks for joining. We have a lot of new features and enhancements to the system that we'll be talking about. I'm Jeff Finn, joined with Matt Smith. Matt will be sharing. And as always, we're open for questions along the way, but a lot of new highlights and some sneak peek discussions of some things to come. So a lot more to come as we move into the summer. So Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you. We're going to talk about email automation, a great new feature to our Real campaigns, an expanded new Outlook add-in. Matt's going to show you some expanded import mapping and the ability to find any field across your database to map them into your CRM. Just by way of note, it's not something you need to do anything, but we've done a lot of work to reduce your memory utilization in the applications as you open multiple tabs to accelerate performance across the platform, even with those tabs open. But we'll talk about some best practices in memory management and how to make sure your system is as efficient as possible. New abilities and views in the events dashboard for projects and project preferences, and then new tool to be able to see your linked owner inside of your property view display, and street views and photo capture, so efficiently able to capture photos and bring them into your property window in your CRM. And now we've automated the comps so that we've just taken a couple of steps out of your day as you're building your comp library, whether for sale or for lease. So Matt, a lot to cover. I'll turn it over to you, and anyone having any questions along the way, we'd love to brainstorm with you and share some use case best practices.
Absolutely. Thanks as always, Jeff. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what's new. We are accelerating our what's new updates drastically through the second half of the year. And I'll tease a little bit of that as we kind of run through this. Let's talk a little bit about email marketing, email automation. And this is perfect timing. I have a new client that's been with us for about 30 days, migrated from another system to our system. Yesterday, we were doing a quick training, and we are migrating them out of their current email provider, and we're saving them $220 a month, $220 a month using our system. Now, not only are we saving them a drastic amount of money, we're also giving them data and insights they just didn't have available to them in the program. So if you move your way over to Real Campaigns and simply go ahead and click on the button, you'll see it says single campaign, and those are your one-offs. Those are your introduction emails. Maybe it's just listed email. I kind of like to do my merge emails out of here. So if you've seen me talk about this before, I like to make all my calls and then create a nice little follow-up. Maybe it's initial outreach, a last touch, left voicemail, whatever those would be. Those are typically text-based emails. I typically like to run my asset-based emails, investment wanted, space for lease, space for sale. I like to do those out of Marketplace. However, you really can choose any template you want, and it's all HTML powered, where by clicking these two greater than or less than signs, you can put your code in there. But again, I like to use these for my letter-based emails. You'll see down at the bottom here, and I apologize, I still don't have my screen, so I'll try to spotlight it here. If you click on these fields right here down in the bottom left-hand corner, you can actually have merge fields. Now, those are great for your one-off emails. But what if you want an email going out every quarter, or you want an email going out on the first day, the 5th day, the 15th day, and you want to automate some of that process? Well, right now, you would go through and you would schedule it for a future date, and then you would go ahead and do the next one, the next one, the next one. And then each time you want to replicate that process, you would have to go through that again, and it's just not as efficient as we want it to be for you. So we added in the email automation. Email automation is going to allow you to go ahead and create these automations similar to a timeline, and it's going to allow you to create this series, and it's going to say wait for X amount of days or minutes or hours, maybe not minutes, but hours, days, weeks, months, years. Maybe you want to send an email out every year upon a lease renewal, meaning that we just did a lease renewal. Next year, Congratulations, 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 congratulations. By the way, let's look for new space. So that can be year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. So you can start creating these different templates. Or maybe you sold a property and you want to create something that follows up with them every 6 months. By the way, it's time for your new updated valuation. Reply back and we'll send you a valuation in a year and a half. Whatever those cases would be, you can create these different templates. And to create this, it's super easy. You're just going to go in and hit create, just like I did. And then you're going to say add another email. And then you're going to come over to this little edit email section. And then you're going to select the template that you want in your added email. In this case here, I'm going to go here and put in my lease expiration one. And now I can see what my email looks like. I'm going to hit save. And obviously there's a subject required. So I'm just going to say this is going to be a wellness, and I'm going to hit save. And now let's do that in 1 week. And let's do that at, I don't know, 5 p.m. And I'm going to hit done. And then I can say create email or select email. I'm going to say select email, and I'm going to select my next email. It's going to show me what it looks like. I have my subject in there. That's perfect. If I want to change it, I can. And then so on and so on and so on. So that's going to be the way that I can go ahead and continue to create my automated email. Again, you can say wait for 1 day, wait for 7 days, wait for 7 years, wait for 7 weeks, whatever that would be. And then once you get this template, now you're able to replicate this template, meaning that once you have this template going, all you need to do is go ahead and select that template, and you'll use that for your automation. So again, click on Real Campaigns, hit schedule, pick the group you want to send it to, pick the template you have and hit schedule. Bada boom, bada bing, it's done. It's that easy, right? So now you have single one-off templates, you have automated templates. If you need us to create a template for you, let us know. We can go ahead and provide a template for you for a small cost, and we can get your templates built in there. Now, one of the nice things with us is we have the ability to do a submask. So it comes out of our system. So you're not worried about spam or your scores and everything else from your own domain. You know, it keeps your domain clean, and it would come out of your name. So mine is Matthew Smith. It's going to be submask is Matthew Smith, and then it would be info@RealNex. If you want that changed to a subdomain, or you want that to be a custom domain, we can do that for you as well with the Real Campaigns program. If you want to migrate out of Constant Contact, MailChimp, or any other email provider, we'll go ahead and we'll import your contacts for you at no cost. I just did it for another client that came out of MailChimp this morning, and we brought them right in. And again, they're saving money and they're getting those statistics. So what kind of statistics do you get? One is you get to see whether or not the email was delivered, because maybe the email bounced. Well, that's a great reason why Jeff's not responding to my emails, because his emails are bounced and I have his wrong email. Well, if he opens it, awesome. Maybe it's a good time to give him a call. If he clicks on it, even a better time to give him a call. But maybe we have some buyer requirements in here for Jeff or Antonio, whoever we're calling, and it's getting delivered, but they're not opening it. Maybe we just want to reach back out and say, hey, Jeff, just want to let you know I sent out a new requirement for you. Or, hey, I got a new property that meets your requirements, or, hey, I have available space release that meets the requirements that you needed. Whatever your touch point is, you can use these statistics to make that phone call and reach out. So email automation with statistics in there, and will help bring over your data so you can start saving time and hopefully making more money. Now, what about when they reply to you? Where does that email go, Matt? Well, that email can go a couple places. One is it can automatically integrate into your RealNex program, because it tracks your emails automatically, no BCC or CC. The attachments, the body, the subject, everything, whether you're a Gmail or Outlook 365 user, you can use that. But one of the cool things is what if they're not in your RealNex system and someone emails you? They got your information off the web and they said, hey, I heard that Jack Finn is the best leasing broker in the world and I want to do business with you. What if they're not in your system, and how do you get it there? Well, inside of Outlook and Gmail, there's a section. I don't have the video for Gmail, but it is in the guide me. And all you're going to do is you're going to come over to your Outlook and you're going to go down here to more apps. You're going to click, you're going to type in RealNex, and you're going to see one app. Now mine has two because I have the ability to test them here. For us, you're simply going to go ahead and click on that, and then you're going to say add. It'll add it in and it'll allow you to turn an email into a contact or contacts, depending on how many people are that email, and then send it right into your RealNex. You don't even have to be logged into your RealNex. You just have to be logged into RealNex via Outlook. So email comes across, 3 people on it. You want to turn them into contacts. You want to add them to a project. You want to add some additional notes. You can do it all in Outlook, send it into RealNex. Now that information is populated in RealNex, even if you don't have RealNex logged in on a separate browser. So again, that new Outlook add-in is fantastic, but it's also available for Gmail. So you can do that for Gmail as well. Just go into your Gmail account and you can add it in through the apps in the Gmail section.
So Matt, you can if you get someone who pings you off of a sign, you could actually add that person to a project as a lead.
Absolutely, right in there. And you'll just click more options in there when you do that, and you'll be able to designate whether they're in a group, or you can update their phone number or add more information, and then it goes in there, because there's a lot of times that we don't have the time, right? We're always busy. And so we get that email in. I know I want to add them to one of my assignments. It's important for me to report back to the owner, but I don't want to log back into RealNex. I just logged out for the day. No problem. Bada boom, bada bing in your program. It's there. It's waiting for you for the next day, the next time you need it. It's also going to be available in your mobile app for you immediately if you need to add some notes or you're going out to tour the property with it. Absolutely. Now, we talked about email automation, and we talked about the new Outlook and Gmail add-in, which is fantastic. One of the things that has been really a hot topic for 10 years, and I'll say every couple of years we ebb and flow, is where do we get the data from? Who has the best data? And I'll tell you, you have the best data. You know the market better than anybody. And if you watched our videos before talking about know the market, own the market, learn your market, your A, B, and C's, whether that's people, property, companies, etc., or you're going through and you're canvassing using the mobile app. I preach it. I always will preach it. It's really important for you to know the market, and now to know the market better than ever. Whether that is all the lease comp details or the sales comp details or the property details is important. Well, what's one way you can bring in data, and that is importing. Now, a lot of times importing gets it's a bad rap. Everybody says, well, importing is so hard, it's so tough. Well, we tried taking away that toughness by using what we call auto mapping. So it tries to auto match the headers in the spreadsheet automatically to our program. That doesn't mean you have to use our template. So if you use other systems to import data, I can tell you this: if I can do it, you can do it. You simply select your field that you want to add in, and I'll click downloads, and I'll say my template. Now I'm cheating on this one here because I'm using one of our templates. You don't have to use our template. If you want to rename your headers to our template, that's great. But one of the things that I'm going to show you in here really makes the importing process much easier. And what it does is it can show you fields that are in use, fields that are not in use, and it just makes that part easier. You can also save and load maps easier than you ever were able to before. So if you need to load a map, meaning that you matched all the headers up in a way that you want, and you don't want to have to go through what you just did, you can just load it and it will automatically match everything up. You can use this to bring in new information and update it. You can have it where it brings in new information, period, because you've never had it in the system. Different rules and stuff that you can update. And there's a great little video. There's a guide me tour that walks you through how to do this, and even an on-screen guide. Now, as soon as my AOL dial-up goes through, right now the system is trying to match all those different fields within the program. So just give it a couple minutes or a couple seconds, and it will pop in there, and then we'll be able to rock and roll, and you can choose those fields. You kind of can see in the background where it says show only mapped fields, meaning that we only want to show the fields that are mapped because maybe we're missing a few fields. If you click show only map, it's going to show all the fields that are mapped, and that way you can check your spreadsheet to see what you might have missed, and it consolidates it. Again, we're all about the easy use and the fastest time to deployment. And so we want your RealNex system to be the nucleus of all data. Get data from everywhere, aggregate it into our program, so then you can go through and you know the market, which will allow you to own the market. That information is also available for you in other places within inside of our program, whether that is using it to create comps. Those comps can be used for your marketing presentations and your valuations, turning those into rent comps, to give supporting documentation on the lease and how you got to the lease rate and such. That's all in there. Now I have a ton of tabs open and I just uploaded the spreadsheet, and my internet's not always the best here in the office, so it might take a couple seconds. So why that's kind of running and matching everything up in the background, we have done things to reduce memory to accelerate performance. So I know it sounds really fancy, but what we did is we made the program smarter so it doesn't use as much memory. Chrome and Chromium, which is Edge and what everybody typically use, is a memory hog. And so we needed to reduce the memory to give accelerated performance. If you're still having any performance issues, you can always go into here and you can go into guide me and you can type in words like performance, and it will walk you through how to update performance, or you'll see some of the things in here that talk about it within our campaign and our knowledge base within inside of here, and ways to kind of walk you through how to get to that, and then ultimately support's here to help you to make sure that we have your memory set up so it does give you the performance. Dashboard. Events on the dashboard. You'll start seeing some more things, and these are going to be subtle things that you may not notice, and that's the idea, is we want subtlety. Some people have noticed that you have the Kanbans in here, and some people notice that you have the settings, and other people haven't. So we have the Kanban, the customized settings, the list view. We've added things like mine and participant and active. So if I want to see all the deals that I've created, I check mine. If I want to see all the deals that I'm participating in, I uncheck mine and put this one as participant. This deal's not my deal, even though it should be. Jeff stole it from me, but it's Jeff's deal and I'm a participant on there. We decided to split the commission 50-50 because I found out. No, I'm just teasing you on that. But yes, it would show you mine or participant, meaning mine is the ones that you created and participants are the ones that you're a commission participant. You can see that. You also notice that if you put your mouse over the leads, your mouse will change into a pointer or a pointer finger. So from a pointer to a pointer finger, and this will allow you to move your leads from side to side, left to right. Now, as I mentioned 100 times, these Kanban boards are 100% customizable to you. You don't like green, no problem. You don't like orange, not a thing. These are customizable to you. Use your statuses. If your stages are 1 through 20, put them in there. If your stages are 1 through 10, put them in there. You have complete customization around that, or your company has customization settings around there. So you'll see some subtleties. We're just trying to make the program easier and faster, more effective. And you'll also notice things like if you click the arrow to create an event or a timeline or create a project from anywhere within the program, it makes it easier. From adding clients and listings all from one page, we're really getting down to doing things more on one page than we ever have before. And it looks like I froze my system here on the contacts, so I'll leave those ones alone for right now. And again, you'll see some subtlety in those areas. Now, one of the things that people have not realized, and they're starting to take advantage now, is commission participants. So when I look at my deal right here, I don't see anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up one of my projects here, and I'm going to click on Neham Industrial, and you're going to see all the details in there. Now, this detail information screen is going to give us all the details of the building, for sale, for lease, maybe it's placing debt, maybe it's a development project, whatever it is, and you're going to see a commission. That is the total commission that is payable. These are the commission participants. Now I have attorney in here that doesn't get paid, so I can keep track of who is a participant on my deal. This can also be for your commission participants. But what if you have commission participants on a lot of your projects? You don't really want to add those each time. So you can come down here and you can say new commission participant and they're split. Or you can come up here to my account and you can go to settings, and inside of here you can go to project preferences. So we can go ahead and set myself as the primary agent. I'm the one that creates the projects. I want to be the primary agent on every deal. Awesome. Maybe your admin does. Maybe your marketing. Maybe your account coordinator does that. Then they would not want to add you as a primary agent. Or maybe they want to add another default primary agent. And this is how you can do it. You can select what they are, and you can choose like agent here. Who's the agent? And then you'll type in there. I'm going to type in my name. It's probably not in there. We'll just use Marquis Matthews in there. And then what is the percentages? Like what is their percentage of the split on the typical deal? And this way you don't have to add them each time into the system. And then yes, we do have commission reporting. So if you do want to see your commission reporting, just simply go to output, and then you can see commission report, commission by team, and it's a weighted commission based upon the probability of closing. So if it's 75%, it's going to be a 75% weighted commission within inside of there. So the events dashboards, subtleties, project preferences, again, subtleties, it's all about ease of use. And then you'll start seeing some other things that are really beneficial with inside of the program. And again, that's doing things more on one screen. So let's talk a little bit about creating comps. So we created this project, our participants that are in there. We have mine, we have active, we have participant. All these things are just making things easier for you. But if you come over and you say create comp, it'll say do not change owner or change owner. We're going to change the owner to the buyer. We're going to change the procuring agent and the listing agent. So this is the procuring agent. Here's the listing agent. We can update the property financial sections from the values to the for listing tab. Basically, there's a listing tab within the property, and we want to update those property financial sections in there. Or maybe we want to clear the value because we don't want those details in there because the property is sold, and next time it sells, different information in there. But when you create this comp, now it's bringing the picture over from that property. So the property photos now come across in comps to help build your comp library. So when you're running a report on those comps, now they have the beautiful photo. You don't have to add an additional photo. Again, we're just looking at how do we take 10 steps and turn it into one, or from one step and automate it for each and every one of you, just to have an easier, faster, more effective process. And you hear me repeatedly say that it's about faster and more effective processes within inside of the program. Again, if we go ahead and we pick on any one of these properties, I will pull up Needham Industrial as an example. I might want to take a look at a couple things. One is maybe I want to look at where Construction Builders is at and talk to them a little bit about the Vegas Strip. They're right on the strip here. Interesting things that we see when we pull the Google Street View out. I know Bobby Babbis here, one of our amazing people that work with us, use this program that does like this geo tracking thing. It's pretty neat, and he plays a video game on it. But yeah, this is super cool to see some of these images. Now, you can see the image of the owner, right? Their owner company that's on there. You can also see the property. But what if you have a property and you don't have a photo for it? Satellite. You can just go ahead and you can do Street View, do a capture, and then you can go ahead with that capture. We made it so now if you come in here and you just click this paste, it'll automatically take it from your clipboard, right? So I took a snapshot of that, and then I used my clipboard to paste it. All you got to do is say clipboard, and now it's going to paste the photo from the clipboard. See how quick that is? That's great. You can also use web links, and you can drag and drop photos into there to build your photo library up. And remember, all this photo that you're adding into there, whether it's out in the field or you're using the Google Street View or you're using your phone to take the pictures, all that information is now available for your marketing team or yourself, if you're the sole marketing person, to have that available to create that marketing collateral. And so that information is usable in the marketing collateral. It's also usable in your listings. So now that photo is in there for your listing, and it streamlines that listing. Super huge. Remember, when you have your properties listed for sale, we have a syndication partners. We'll be adding more syndication partners. And if we don't have a syndication partner and you haven't seen this, this is an easy way to get it to somebody that doesn't syndicate with us. You check your properties for sale or for lease. You say share via email. You send it to their research or their listings at, and pow, they'll add the listing for you. So one place to add the information. You're prospecting in our program, you're leasing in our program, you're doing the analysis in our program and the flyers, and you're listing it. And now someone else is doing all the listings for you. So if your admin's in here, great. If you're in here, awesome. It's all about simplicity. We're giving you one place to do your business. This is the handset to the industry, and this allows you to take that information elsewhere. Now, with that automated comps library, that information can be utilized in your marketing package. There's also a couple other things that we haven't mentioned on here. So if you are using our listing solution, you're going to see some subtle changes. One of the changes that may be subtle to you or not is when you have a price undisclosed, there used to be certain things that were required. They're no longer required. Again, we listen to the market. So as we hear things from the market that, hey, we're struggling with this would be great. We want to be able to select the information on a map, like where the location is at, no problem. We added that. We want it to be undisclosed, no problem. We want to be able to have multiple property types in here. Absolutely, we can do it. So we continue to enhance the program to make it easier to use, easy to use, highest time to value within the industry. And it's streamlining that process where it's going from your properties to your project to your comps. You're building your library, you're building your area, you're sending the emails, you're creating the marketing collateral, you're creating the listing presentation, you're doing it all with our program. We're taking those emails from Gmail and Outlook, and we're turning it into email automation, and we're enhancing the import so you can bring in more data than you ever have before, and we're just making things easier. Again, subtle things. So if you come over here and you can say, click this arrow, add new, we should probably change the arrow to something else so it's more noticeable. If you have any suggestions, let us know. What should we change this to? Because you might not want it, you might not click on that. What should we change that to? A smiley face? Because I get happy when I click on it because I can add units, a space, an event, land, anything in here. So if you do land assemblage, you might not have noticed that we have the ability to do land assemblage. And here's all your land. Bada bing, bada boom in there. The listing side of things, we have an auto calculator here that'll calculate your cap rate and your NOI when you put some of the information in. You might not have seen that. But if you want to learn more about it, you click on the little mouse over on these question marks and it gives you the information. It's awesome. And again, we continue to do with the market, not to the market. So the more we hear from you, the better we get and the better we put things on here. Jeff, how are we looking on time? I tried to slow down as much. I took Brandon's his recommendation to drink water throughout the presentation. He slowed me down. There's so many things going on.
Give you a breath.
I gotta slow down.
No, you're right on target. Some questions coming in. Yes, this is being recorded as always, and it'll be distributed. All of our past recordings are up on our YouTube channel, so check them out if you need to. Happy to share, and you're certainly welcome to share with any of your colleagues.
The plus sign, I love it. Yes, I like that. Instead of an arrow, we should have a plus sign. Makes all the sense in the world.
I thought he was giving me an A+. I wasn't sure what that was. Gotcha.
Well, I think, well, Dante, we love you, brother, but he's definitely given me an A+, but he's talking about a plus sign right here instead of the arrow. That's actually a great idea. If you have ideas for us on different things we should do, email them to me, msmith@realnex.com. Not everything's going to be put in there, obviously, but a lot have. And one was, hey, we want you to add the different layouts because we don't want you to see this here. But I know that Dante only wants to see 3 fields and his favorite color is green. Jeff wants to go ahead and see everything and his favorite color is white. And then, Matt's favorite color is blue. Well, no problem. You can do that. You can change them any color you want. You can change a different layout. So we listen to you. And if you see that plus sign in there, it's because of you, Dante. And so we appreciate you and giving us all that feedback on there. But hopefully you're going through and you're saying, hey, here's my market of 1,500 properties. And you're taking that photo and bang, you're throwing it into that property. You're using our program to canvas. When I was out at ICSC at Get Social, I actually stacked it's not the Wynn. What's the one right next to the Wynn, Jeff? What's that hotel right next to the Wynn?
Encore.
Encore. Yes, we were at the Encore right there. And thank you all for putting on the Get Social event. It was great. And I actually added the Encore directly from my phone, and then it instantaneously populated my RealNex. And I think in part of it could be the booze, but everybody's jaw hit the floor that I was talking to. They were like, this is incredible. I got to the end of Get Social, but again, you can add photos, get directions, do all that stuff. And we're trying to make sure information's easy. Yeah, so looks like some great questions are coming in here, and the property descriptions are populating automatically, and there's other things that are happening. So I'll have a conversation with you offline so we can kind of walk through that process and what it looks like. I'll copy your email right now, and I'll email you. Again, if anybody has any questions, you can.
I think you should address this. It's important. The question's all about entering property information more than once. So the idea is best practices, put all your property information into CRM, That's your system of truth, your control point, and then you can publish that anywhere. And we actually, in the layouts that Matt talked about, there are indications of which fields get syndicated to Marketplace and to Market Edge. So you know that if you have these fields entered and you push them, they would flow right into the other application. So you enter it into the CRM, then you can see which, by the ME or MP, which ones go where, and those fields would be pushed across to the other application. So you enter it once, publish it to the other application. You can then update it or amend it for marketing purposes if you want to change anything like the undisclosed price, for example. Maybe you have a price in CRM, you don't want to publish it, you can delete it once you have it ready for marketing and take it from there. So that's
And then also the custom fields. You have custom fields in here because you made this awesome customization. Those fields are available within inside of your marketing side. So we can come over here and we can choose those property fields. So if I say property fields over here and I pull that property field section up, and hopefully it'll work for me here. Again, my internet's been quite interesting today. Let's go over here and we'll say property fields. And as we go ahead and pull and I'm probably not on the right one, but the information will come across right in the system here. And again, you can choose those fields from the CRM that will populate in there. So any custom fields that you made, those custom fields can be all on your flyer. So you have a single page flyer. Oh, here it is right here.
Matt, when you're done with this, go back for 1 second.
So you can say source, and you can say your source is coming from the CRM. And these are all the custom ones I have in my CRM. You saw, and I had ADU and such. So all the custom fields from the CRM available for you in all your marketing collateral. So again, everything in here is available for you in here.
To Matt, just to add a little bit to it, the standard RealNex fields, where appropriate, are mapped directly to Marketplace and Market Edge. If you've changed any of them, and it's something that's one of the reasons we wanted to put that alert up. Some people have changed some of our fields so they're not mapping correctly because they may have changed building class to year built or whatever. They wanted it in because of a prior generation of how they were using the system. Revert to the current model of here are the standard fields, use those. And we've given you so many new user fields that you should use just the user fields for customization, and then do what Matt suggested, and then you'd pull them in from the marketing side.
Hopefully that answered your question. If it did, let me know. I'm happy to do so. But yeah, continue to give us updates. You can change these. We've added a bunch of different things in the fields. We added, is web URL. You'll see in here also on some of the things like transaction price. Maybe you want to have decimal places. Some people love decimal places. Some people don't. Now we've added it so you can see the decimals. So, you want to see that down to the penny. Awesome. You don't, take it away. We can use a separator or non-separator. We can do currency, general, or percentage. All these are customizable for you. And if you need some more, click on these blue eyes and it will walk you through and give you some more information on how to do it. Long as you can use a mouse, a keyboard, and read, our program's for you.
Anybody have any tips they'd like to share or questions before we wrap up? Otherwise, I think we are good to go. Give you one
Someone
last.
has their hand up.
What's that?
We have a hand raised somewhere. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, man. Hopefully Florida's treating you well. I see your hand up, but I can't read your mind. So if you can throw something in there, that'll be great.
I'll unmute you, Jeff, if you have something.
I sent.
Jeff, we're sorry. Jeff Finn's on a Mac. He probably muted
There
you
we go.
again.
Can you hear me
There
now?
we go. Back. Yep.
Okay. I sent you an email, Matt. Just it's been a long-term pet peeve for me.
Yeah, no problem. We'll have a discussion. Manny, it's good to see you. Pedro, good to see you too. It's been a long time. Man, Florida is coming on here strong. Greg, good to see you, representing the West Coast. Well, look, anybody has any additional questions, you're welcome to email me, msmith@realnex.com. You're welcome to email support@realnex.com or put a ticket in. We're here to help you, and hopefully you enjoy these features. Now, I did promise you what's new and coming. You will see artificial intelligence within the program to make things easier for you, and you will see new dashboards coming. I got so excited on what's here right now that I didn't even have a chance to tease it. But maybe Jeff can kind of, piece that together, and we can show a little bit of that when we post this live on our YouTube channel going forward. So
Let's leave that for what, yeah, I think you teased it enough. AI is coming and some great new tools are right around the corner. Plus, next week we have a mastermind session with Steve Zuber of Barbara Murphy out of St. Louis, a regional company that's deploying RealNex well to manage and deal and handle all of their projects and their pipeline. So he's going to focus on pipeline management and projects. And then in 2 weeks, we have a really special treat for you all. We have Rod Santamassimo from the Massimo Group and Bob Knackel, who just together published the Selling Buildings book, and it's flying off the shelf. Many of you know Bob and Rod. They're going to share a lot of their insights in the market and how they are taking advantage of the industry cycle, how they're using technology and tools like RealNex to become the best they can in the business, and can't wait to have them on and sharing the highlights of their book and best practices and how you can take advantage of them in your market as well. So keep coming back. We appreciate it. Thanks, Matt. And we will see you all soon.
thanks, everybody.